Hey guys, welcome back to the Scooter Operations Virtual E-Scooter Repair Shop. I'm your host, Chris. Today we have part 2 of our two-part series, the Tifgalop Rear Flat Tire Part 2. As you can see, we have the rim off of the frame, and we have the tire just chilling there, and we're going to put on a new tube, okay? So if you joined me for part 1, this is a tubeless tire, and I've done this before. It was a little bit of a nuisance getting the tire off the rim. But if you joined me for the part 2 of the front flat, we got it in not seamlessly, but seemingly seamlessly. It wasn't, there were no hiccups, what I call hiccups. You're gonna just put this into the tire. The tube goes into the tire. All right. Okay. And then the only snafu is that you have to put the tire on this way. So you kind of have to finagle the rim a sort of way. With the valve stem, okay? That's going to go in through here. So what we did was, this is normally a tubeless thing. Actually, I'm going to grab my microfiber towel and wipe this up a little bit. There's a little bit of dirt. Grab a microfiber towel if there's an excessive amount of dirt. And that'll just help. You don't want any dirt inside, obviously. You can just give this a nice cleaning. Just a quick wipe. This wasn't asked by the client or nothing, but I'm just going to give it a quick wipe down. These microfiber towels grab anything without the use of soap, which I love. You can just give everything quick wipe down, okay? Nothing special, okay? Just a quick wipe of the brake and stuff, okay? This is going in here, and what I didn't do on the front one was I didn't apply my valve extension, which became kind of vital. I didn't put it on initially, and you might want to do that, just so you don't lose the valve in the rim as you put this tire on. It is kind of difficult to put on. It's not extremely difficult, but it's about, I would say, an 8 out of 10. So at this point it's massaging, and of course we have to work within the realm and slack of the motor cable. Okay, and we're going to beat the half. We're going to put half of the tube over the rim here. The top half. Okay, so that's already on there, guys. And at this point, there's a lot of massaging and using my fingers to get off my chair here and come down to the floor. Use your thumbs, I guess. Use your thumbs. Use your thumbs like this. So get up in there with your thumb, because if you use your fingers, you'll cramp down on your fingers with the tire. If you use your thumb, it doesn't hurt as bad. So with this model, the tube seems to sit in there quite easily, but then it's about getting the tire over the rim, and that's where we'll probably have to use our tools like we did on the front one. Okay, so let's do that. This is vice grip number 1. Okay. So that's just gonna kind of start things off for us. You know, sometimes they go on and sometimes they don't. I mean, like right away. I just gotta be very mindful to not break this tube because I don't have another one. Getting this on frame here. I'm on the floor because this scooter is too heavy to really put anywhere else. I'll put it on the table in a minute. A lot of tire force tension. Okay. No, we have about 70% of it on. We don't want to lose that. So we're gonna put our vice grip at 6 o'clock, and then we're gonna grab a tire spoon and try to pop it over. It's tough. It's tough, but it's doable. Put your vice grip at 6 o'clock, okay? Relative to how much you've gotten on there. Make sure you're not grabbing the rim, but the tire on the back side. Okay, and that helps pinch the tire like this. If you had the grip of Thor, you're trying to pinch the tire, and then that will help you get it over the rim. Okay, here goes nothing. Go. Okay, not terrible. At this point you want to massage this. Okay, and the valve extension is kind of critical because it's a tubeless tire, so we're putting a tube where there was no tube before, so the valve can easily fall in. you add the valve extension and you just keep it there. Just keep it there. So here's the moment of truth where we blow up the tire and see if it holds air. I really hope it does because I don't have another tube. Whoa. Something's not right. We might have a bad valve extension. About 1 in 4 of those is no bueno. You don't want to lose this. Please work. So when you initially put air in there, it's going to take shape. So start out about 10 psi and then wait for the air to stabilize. Okay? Put the tire normal to gravity and let the air stabilize in there. We're going to cut the video and come back in about 5-10 minutes when the air stabilizes in here. Okay guys, we're back and we're going to put a little bit more air in. I like to blow this up to about 30. My pressure gauge is going haywire for some reason. But again, I want to blow it up to about 30. So the reason I blow it up to 30 is because it's a pretty fat tire. So I don't want to give it like tons of air pressure. I'm going to blow these up to 30 and then I'm just going to let it be. And I hope that this valve extender, it's kind of sticking out a little bit. I'm going to hope that it doesn't interfere with anything as I put it back onto the scooter here. Okay, so next thing I have to move the scooter back to the table and it's really heavy. But we'll get it done, we always do. Okay, I'm just kind of thinking how I'm going to lift this thing. It weighs so damn much. One, two, three, I guess. Oh boy. Okay. It's on the table. And we're just, like I said before, putting Humpty Dumpty back together again. Scooter goes on the forks, wheel goes on the forks, and then you just crank it down with the ratchet. Okay. So the cool thing about these heavy duty scooters is that once you do get the wheel fixed, they usually go back onto the forks quite easily. Oh, this needs to be tightened. This needs to be tightened real bad. Well, we'll tighten that. I don't think I have that size. Huh. Wow. So for this, the suspension's loose on this guy, and I don't have the it looks like a 10. I'm gonna have to go grab a 10 or a 9 from the hardware store. Be back in a gist, guys. Because like always, we show everything. We want to we want to show everything, okay? We baby it for you. We want to show everything. We're trying to shed light on the e-scooter industry. So we're going to go down to the hardware store. We're going to go buy a 9 or a 10, and we're going to try to tighten the suspension before we put the tire back on, okay? All right, guys, we're back, and we stopped at tightening this suspension bolt because it's very loose, and we had to run to the hardware store and grab a 10 wrench. 10 wrench. Okay, and that's an interesting size, isn't it? Because you can't buy it individually unless you buy it from Amazon or something. But this is clearly loose, and on the back side, I'm just gonna grab it with my my vice grips. Okay, you can also use an adjustable wrench. Okay, I'm gonna tighten this down. Incredibly loose suspension. Can't give that back to the client like that. We just want to tighten it. Not make it incredibly tight, but I want to tighten it until it's just snug, because that's always a good place to be. Pretty loose. Okay. Over here, we'll see if that's tight. Yeah, we want those tight. So they're tight now, and we'll check this one as well. Pretty tight, okay. So yeah, that's a 10 wrench, and we might return that to the hardware store. We don't know yet. Because we've never used a 10 before. Okay, so now we are putting the wheel back onto the forks here. And then we gotta be done because we got other stuff to do today, okay? Non-scooter stuff. So this is swinging back up and going in. So use your knees to hold the wheel there. A little core workout. Got 2 inner washers, 1, 2, both sides. We're going to try to put that on the forks. Hopefully it cooperates. It should. Oh, okay. You might have to rotate the tire so that the extension you put on your valve doesn't hit the fork. Okay? So I was trying to put it on like that. You gotta rotate it so it doesn't do that. And you have to rotate the axle so that it goes on the forks themselves. So it's kind of spinning. Let's try to get it on without the washer. Okay, you should go on. Why aren't you going on? Doesn't want to go in and on. Doesn't want to go in and on, but it should. I'm going to grab my hammer. So I have a little like baby hammer that I keep in my toolbox for stuff like this. So we might have to remove our cap here. So we took the valve extension off. Hopefully we don't lose we shouldn't lose the valve in there. that doesn't want to go on right now. I'm going to try to get this wheel on. So you want to bang right there with the hammer. It's not moving. Let me take this washer off, see if it goes on without any washers. Okay, we had to like pivot the axle just so, and it went on. But there's no washers on there. So we're gonna try to get the washers on now that we know it goes on. Grinding our brake up a little bit, but there's really nothing you can do. Okay, so you have to, the axle is like not wanting to go on. You got to pivot the wheel so that it goes on. There we go. Make sure it spins. Put on your lock. Well, they're not lock washers, they're lawyer lips washers because they have this lip on them. Okay, so 1, 2 on both ends. Then you're going to tighten it down with your ratchet. Size 21 or a 21 size wrench. Okay. I'm gonna switch my ratchet back to righty-tighty and tighten this down. Nice and tight, baby. Nice and tight. Just the way Daddy likes it. Okay. And we'll test the brake. Good. Good brakes. Okay. Oh yeah, so we want to just check. We want to check right here that we can put this valve cap on, and if we can't, we're just going to leave it. And it looks like we can't have it on because it interferes with the fork. So we're going to take it off we'll give this to the client and we'll just cap it. And actually, I don't even think it's gonna like this plastic cap, so we might have to put a different cap on there. Get this chrome cap. Okay. There you have it, guys. A little shorter cap than the plastic one, but it went on. So we got about so a little recap. What we did was what did we do? We put a tube in a tubeless tire. The tube is in the resource page on school, and we're able to make it work at 30 psi. I think that's a good psi for this scooter fix. So this is the Tifgalop T88 Plus. This is, I call this the extra large, no, the large tire size. And I have a tire size guide on my school page. You can check out all the resources at school.com/scooter-operations. If you're visiting Phoenix and you want to rent 4 scooters for your squad, hit me up. You know where to find me, scooterops.com. And this scooter is ready to go. So we're going to give it back to the client, and that was part 2 of the rear flat Tifgalop and this is Chris signing out of the virtual e-scooter repair shop. I've been here too long the past couple days, but we are going to go do other stuff, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot, guys.